Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. Presenting to you E103 Gaṇéśa Chaturthi 21-foot diet for 7 talents. Tiru-pugaḻ number 2. Pakkarai-vicitra-maṇi, vi-nāyak-ar. Fashions and fads recycle, but few remain in vogue all through. VasanthiMā revisits one such 600-year-old diet plan to celebrate FairPlay, gauri habbā, and SteppingStone, gaṇéśa Chaturthi. As we checked out in VasanthiMā's episode number 69, a week before last Christmas, following a disastrously materialistic life and a failed suicide attempt, Twilight's, that is Aruna's, uphill giri leadership, nāthar, aruna giri nāthar, Twilight's uphill leadership debuted its sacred fame, tiru-pugaḻ, purely through grace, with muttai-taru. That debut was followed by a 12-year silence in the spirit of meditatively experiencing the unfathomable power of silence to regain what every one of us is rightfully and authoritatively entitled to, and that's blissful ecstasy. Yes, it's our right, our birthright, blissful ecstasy. Summayiru anandam peru. The process is also outlined for us to get back that bliss that belongs to us, and that process is silence. And the very first expression of that post-silence bliss was today's song, the second ever tiru-pugaḻ. It was delivered at the light transforming, yes, Poyya Ganapati, light transforming. Which light? The facade of physicality, to which truth? The reality of metaphysicality. Yes, the light transforming Poyya Ganapati Sannidhi of the Subramanya Swami temple in Kumara Vayalur. Each and every syllable in this matters. Poyya is a light, but Ganapati is categorical leadership, transforming that light of physicality to metaphysicality. Sannidhi, the prosperous treasure that is so auspicious of the Subramanya. We, the reality as ourself, formless but expressed in a form. Swa-ami, Swami, that I am, ourself. That's housed in a consecration called a temple. In Kumara, youthful, Vayal, field, Ur, space, the city or village. Popularized further in the last century by a uniquely built master craftsman at discourses, the one and only prosperously compassionate bliss deliverer, Sri Kripa Ananda Variyar. Sri Kripananda Variyar. Sri means prosperous, Kripa means compassion, Ananda means bliss, and Variyar is a deliverer with respect. So I call Sri Kripananda Variyar as the one and only prosperously compassionate bliss deliverer through his discourses. The first half of today's triolet, or if you want to call it the French word rondel, or octave or octet for more mundane amongst us, that is essentially an 8-line poem. The first half means the first 4 lines of this poem tempts us with 7 talents as takeaways for motivation. The thus inspired seeker or sadhak is then directed towards the actual dietary process which could enable such talents. It involves a specific 21-item food list that's then outlined in the second half, that is the last 4 lines of this 8-line poem. Clear-cut official listing by Sri Arunagiri Nāthar more than 600 years ago of a 21 food item diet to develop 7 significant talents towards skillful leadership of our only assets, body, mind, intellect, and that too temporary. These 7 talents are also explicitly itemized. Just like the 21 foods, the 7 talents are also explicitly itemized. This time for Sri Arunagiri Nāthar by the super talented Muruga ourselves. Note that I'm purposely not mentioning himself but ourself instead. Though they both mean the same in this context, nor am I using the far more grammatically correct but spiritually incorrect ourselves, for that would erroneously render plural the actual singular Atma that we all are in reality here and now. It's very interesting to once again remind ourselves that the 7 talents are stated by our self Muruga, whereas the 21 food item list is stated by Sri Arunagiri Nāthar as a devotee of ourself. So this song innocuously yet esoterically outlines the process of an evolutionary transition from our deep-rooted, solid and earthy, collegial existential foundation, Mool Adhara, of categorical leadership, gaṇéśa, to our free-flowing, fluid and watery, sacral self-establishment, Sva-adhisthana, as the formless ultimate with a choicest, free-willed, fleeting form, Su-Brahmanya. Enjoy.
pakkarai-vicitra-maṇi பொற்கலனையிட்ட நடை பட்சியனும் முக்ரதூர கமுனீப pakkarai-vicitra-maṇi பொற்கலனையிட்ட நடை பட்சியனும் முக்ரதூர கமுனீப பக்குவ மலர் துணையும் அக்குவோடு பட்டொழிய பக்குவ மலர் துணையும் அக்குவோடு பட்டொழிய பட்டுருவ விட்டருள் கை வடிவேலும் பட்டுருவ விட்டருள் கை வடிவேலும் திக்கதும திக்கவரு குக்குடமும் ரட்சை தரு திக்கதும திக்கவரு குக்குடமும் ரட்சை தரு சிற்றடியும் முற்றிய பன்னிரு தோளும் திக்கதும திக்கவரு குக்குடமும் ரட்சை தரு சிற்றடியும் முற்றிய பன்னிரு தோளும் செய்ப்பதியும் வைத்து உய திரு-புகழ் விருப்பமோடு செய்ப்பதியும் வைத்து உய திரு-புகழ் விருப்பமோடு செப்பன கருள்கை மரபேனே செப்பன கருள்கை மரபேனே இக்கவரை நற்கனிகள் சர்க்கரை பருப்புடனை எழ்பொரியவற்றுவரை இளநீர்வன் இக்கவரை நற்கனிகள் சர்க்கரை பருப்புடனை எழ்பொரியவற்றுவரை இளநீர்வன் எச்சில் பயரப்ப வகை பச்சரசி பிட்டு விழ எச்சில் பயரப்ப வகை பச்சரிசி பிட்டு விழ இப்பழமடி பல்வகை தனி மூலும் இப்பழமடி பல்வகை தனி மூலும் மிக்கடி சீர்கடலை பட்சணமென கொளுரு விகின சமர்த்தனெனும் அருளாழி மிக்க அடை சீர்கடலை பட்சணமென கொளுரு விகின சமர்த்தனெனும் அருளாழி வெற்பகுடியில செடில பிற்பரமர பொருள் வித்தகமருப்புடைய பெருமாளே வித்தகமருப்புடைய பெருமாளே வித்தகமருப்புடைய பெருமாளே. ஜெய் கணபதிக்கு ஜெய். வித்யா கணபதிக்கு ஜெய்.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed VasanthiMā's rendition of the second tiru-pugaḻ, the Ganesha Chaturthi special. Diet Talent Connect in this latest episode 103 on a 21-foot diet of Ganesha to acquire the 7 talents of Muruga. Yes, heralding the mom Gauri a day prior to the baby Ganesha to be delivered. For us on the path of Advaita, however, Gauri is far more significant and intimate as our own fairness, that is, natural inclination towards justice in all our undertakings on the lines of Prime Minister Modi ji's Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas. Thus, this Wednesday's Ganesh Chaturthi is unique not only because it is on the weekday, Wednesday that is, dedicated to our incisively sharp intellect, Budhavara, but also immediately follows a Martian celebration of maternal strength, that is Tuesday's Gauri habbā. Moreover, Ganesha Chaturthi 2022 occurs on August 31st and is thus exactly on the eve of the nation's annual nutrition month, September 1st to 30th, called the VasanthiMā. Finally, it's in the year just before the United Nations first ever International Year of Millets 2023, an idea proposed by the world's oldest and largest coarse grain, that is millet producer, Bharat, of course, and promptly accepted by more than 70 nations already worldwide, repeating the 8-year-old history of the International Day of Yoga. Hence, VasanthiMā's choice of a nutrition-packed Ganesha Muruga song this week was absolutely apt. You'd agree with me.